Hey everyone, Old School Pokemon here, back again with the PokeFlipz podcast, joined by my usual co-host, the KetchumAllCollectibles, Dan. And today we've got a special guest joining us. We got Mr. Java AKUMA. How are you both doing today?
Doing good.
Very well.
That's good.
At the outset, I'll just say we're coming to you on a slightly different day, and we're coming to you a little bit earlier. We do have to wrap in about 2 hours, so we're going to keep this one tight to 2 hours. As always, hit us with your questions. I think everyone here knows who Java is. I mentioned in the title, he's a big LGS owner these days. I think he's graced the PokeFlipz podcast probably years ago now. We have been going for over 4 years. But Java, for the one person maybe that doesn't know who you are here, let us know who you are, what you got going on, big things going on in the Pokemon space.
Yeah, I've been doing Pokemon YouTube stuff for quite a few years now. Got back in like 2019 when the first boom happened. Now I'm present for the second boom, so that's great. 6 months ago, I opened LGS, and that's been going well so far. And you may have seen me from my tag video where I tested their service. But yeah, that's all my stuff.
How many views does that video have now?
Oh, how many views does it have? Like 130 some thousand, 140. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Wild.
Yeah.
Tag's number one hater we have in our presence. You love to see it. But yeah, feel free, as always, drop your questions in chat. We will answer all of them that we can get to in the next 2 hours. Other than that, though, again, I have no clue what we talked about last time you were on, Java, when it was. But a couple things that I do know. Last time you were on, you were not yet full-time Pokemon, and you did not yet own a game store. So do you want to talk us through a little bit about like those two massive updates? Dig a little bit deeper on how those came about, how those are going, whatever you want to share.
Yeah. So beginning of the year, kind of around like April-ish, I was doing this 30 for 30 thing, which you both were on. I talked to 30 people in 30 days, and it was a fun like community event where I interviewed a bunch of people. And I was talking to PokeChef at the time. He's local to me. And I got this wild idea, like, let's look for some office space or something, try and make this like a part store, part stream, like try and actually do it, because I feel like, kind of makes sense. So right after that, the next day, I found a spot, went and looked at it. Chef was going to be out because at the time it's like his streaming stuff wasn't public yet with like the CNA games and all that. So after that, I just decided I would do it myself. So then in May, I signed the lease for it. And in June, I opened the place. And now it's officially been 6 months since signing the lease, 5 months actually being open to the public and selling stuff. And so far, it's been really good.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And how is you just brought on I don't know, have they started yet? You just brought on an employee?
Yeah, so their first day was Wednesday, and they're going to be working with me again tomorrow. Went through the whole, like, last week was interviews. We interviewed a bunch of 2 days after I posted a like hiring form, I had 37 applications already. And we narrowed it down to 6 and did 3 and 3 in 2 days interviews, and a couple people kind of chose between 2 people that really fit really well. And so, yeah, now I have some help there as well too. So
awesome. Do you think eventually you'll are you just going to use them like when you're there to have help, or are you going to expand hours eventually, you think?
Yeah, so for the next couple months during the holiday, I figure I'll probably be busy enough when they're there that we'll both be there. I don't anticipate probably till next year, like leaving them alone in the store and me like either going to a show or something. But basically, I want to just hire someone to replace me in different areas until I don't have to be there every day. So yeah, hire him to replace me at the counter, and then I can do some more online stuff, and then maybe hire someone to do online stuff, and then I can move to shows, and then maybe hire someone to do shows, and then I can just be like wherever I want to be. So
man,
we'll see.
Invest today.
Yeah.
Invest today. That's
see.
a big. I don't know if that's a 6 month, 2 year, 5 year plan, but that's big aspirations. It's cool to hear.
Yeah.
Do you plan on making any videos about like the process of? I was actually going to ask you. I don't have questions like written down, but I was actually really curious on the whole process for like how many people applied, how did that interview process go? Did you do like Discord video, voice calls, or any more insight you can share on that? What were what were the things you were looking for? What were some of the like higher applicants that ended up getting called off towards the end? Like what is as little or as much as you want to share? Obviously,
yeah,
you can't go in too particular when it involves other people.
It was actually pretty fun. So obviously I just put out a Google form on Instagram and asked some very basic questions, like questions that you're legally supposed to ask, and then questions about like what their availability was and all that stuff. And then out of 37, it was pretty easy to narrow it down to like 15, because I mean, I had Benji interview as like Benjamin Button. He filled out the form. So like, of course I can throw that out.
I was going to say Ponga, Benji, guys like that. You just toss them.
Yeah. But there were people who just don't follow directions. Like you ask for what their last employer was and what they did there, and they just write down landscaping and that's it. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to toss that person because they obviously can't follow just basic instruction.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that. And then, yeah, it just narrowed down to 6, and we brought them in physically to the store. My mom has been actually HR / hiring manager for different car dealerships for a long time, for like 20 plus years. So she helped me with the interviews, where she kind of led the interviews, and then I was there to ask more like Pokemon specific questions, and it ended up, going really well. So,
Awesome.
But yeah, I could do a more in-depth video at some point about that.
Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. I obviously have some people working with me, for me, whatever you want to call it. I use the term independent contractor before I use the term employee. Big distinctions there. But the way that I ended up like working with Ponga, PK, Spat, Skya, not really any formal like, hey, here's like an application, fill it out, get back to me. So it's just interesting to hear you went through like a more formal process. PK and Ponga, we had just been talking for quite some time. I don't remember the exact genesis, the exact origin and time frames, but we were talking for several months, and it was like kind of always planned. And then we just ended up launching October last year, and it's gone really well. So hopefully the addition can be a big boon to the business, and then you can hit your goals there of scaling.
I have an amendum to add to several months. PK was talking to you for like a year.
Oh, over a year, yeah. Because he talked to you about a year before he talked to me, even, right? I mean, yeah. I think again, I have a habit of being second choice, 17th choice, 100th choice. I think PK barked up many trees, none of which bore any fruits. And then he barked up mine, and eventually that one worked out. And hopefully he has no regrets, because I definitely don't. Katie Lowen says she put down her previous occupation as cardboard sniffer and did not get hired.
Man,
that's funny. Here's actually an interesting question. Nick, I don't know if you have any more follow-ups on like the employee thing. I guess we can talk about it more down the line if anything pops back up. But,
I didn't have plenty now. I did have a story question, but we can do this one first.
Okay. So Prem says, I work downtown like a couple minutes from Pokemon North America headquarters, and a source of mine has said that the 30th anniversary set is basically going to be a modern Skyridge Aquapolis set, bringing back Crystal type. Interesting to me, because like the first thing that I think of when I think of Skyridge and Aquapolis is like it's an e-reader era set. They're both e-reader era sets. I doubt they're bringing back the e-reader border framing. I don't think they're going to bring back like those dot codes that were scanned by the e-reader. But other than that, like bringing back crystal type, like okay, that makes sense because it's of that era. But I wonder what else. I wonder if they're gonna do like that frame style. I think that frame style inherently happened because the dot code was on the side. Like I don't know what else they would bring back that would make it like Skyridge Aquapolis-esque. Those sets for their time were massive. Those sets were like they were very like standout because they had 100. What were they? 164, and then plus the H32, something like that. Or 162, whatever the case may be. They were larger than the gym sets. Gym Heroes, Gym Challenge were pretty big for their time. 132 cards each. When Fossil was 64 and Jungle was, or Fossil was 62 and Jungle was 64. So those sets were really big. That's like a norm for these days. Phantasmal Flames is like a standout because it's so tiny, but it would like fit right in with those eras. So I wonder what else they're bringing back if that is true and if they're going like Skyridge Aquapolis style. Those are my initial word vomit thoughts. Having just read that, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I could see them doing. No, go ahead, Nick.
I would just wonder how people are already talking about it without like more leaks coming out. I don't know. I think there's gonna be a lot of just like not saying Prem, you're just talking randomness, but I think there's going to be a lot of like speculation and random thoughts on what the set's going to entail. Personally, I think like a Neo Shining e-reader crystal type esque set would be really really cool. That's kind of what I would like to see because obviously I'm a big WotC person, so I would love to see that. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And I was gonna bring up the same thing you brought up with the e-reader borders. Why would they do that now? Unless they're gonna come up with something for like the Switch or do something like a QR code on the little border or something like that. Which that would be kind of cool too. But it will be interesting.
Yeah, I think they could like. I assume. I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up again for what I think they should do for an anniversary because it was squashed last time. But I think it'll probably be Celebrations again. It'll probably be a smaller set. It'll probably be because in Celebrations, they did the Gold Star Umbreon. They pulled back all of these different rarities from the different sets. So it'd be cool if they did a Crystal and a Shining and stuff like that and put that into like a Celebration Classic Collection, like 30 card, whatever, kind of like they did this last time. But I don't want to get excited for like, oh, they're redoing all of the E-Series sets and and then if you say, oh, it's going to be like Skyridge and Aquapolis but without the borders, it's like, well then what why is it like Skyridge and Aquapolis? Like isn't it just another
That's what
set
I was
at that
getting
point?
at. Yeah, like crystals would make it the one thing that would be the connection, but other than that, like what else make them stand out? I guess crystals is all it takes if that's what you're looking at.
Yeah. But yeah,
I actually Ponga's calling me out, rightfully so. I forgot. Ponga said Dan's a liar. He had me fill out a form. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh boy, we're gonna have a live reading of Ponga's application.
I don't even remember what I put on it, but now I do remember creating a Google form that was just called like streaming. Yeah, I found it. Streaming questionnaire. I made it on August 8th, 2024. And then the first stream happened October 4th, 2025. So several months of conversations went on. And then I put together the streaming questionnaire. Let's see what I asked.
Wait, did I fill out that form?
I didn't know if you wanted me to like call it out live on YouTube, so I wasn't gonna say it, but I believe you did.
I thought maybe I did, yeah.
So there's 3 responses. I guess since you outed yourself, there's 3 responses: PK, Ponga, and Java Akuma. So, but yeah, desired streaming platform. At this point, like I knew I had access to eBay. I knew I had access theoretically to Fanatics, but I put like eBay Live, Fanatics Live, whatnot, Shopify, YouTube. Desired payment type, $10.99. Do you want a flat hourly rate, commission, percent of gross, commission by item, hourly? Like I laid out a few different things. intended like streaming frequency, what days, hours would you be available, and then your social handles, which obviously I knew the 3 guys that ended up. I didn't post this to like Instagram. I think I sent this privately to the 3 people I was talking to at the time. I didn't send this to Skya. Skya is now streaming on some platforms for me. I did not send this to Spat. Spat is now streaming on some platforms for me. So I was fairly I was more legitimate than I realized for that 1 week that I did that for him. But then I ditched that pretty quickly. That's funny. That I forgot about that entirely. Oh yeah. And then I put like items to stream, like was the intent to stream your own items or my items? And again, like I have PK and Ponga who primarily stream my stuff. I have Spat now who primarily streams his stuff. So I over a year before I started doing it, I had like the vision. I had the vision in mind, and now I have people on eBay Live and Fanatics. I have people doing my stuff and people doing their stuff. So I guess that the question there was pretty reasonable. I just didn't do anything with it. Yes, and as Obsidian says, the anniversary set could go up or down. It could be big or large or small, mass printed or not. There's roughly number of options divided by 100 divided by number of options equals the percent likelihood it happens. So 33% small, 33% medium, 33% big, and so on. That is my on the fence take. No, I like. There's 2 things. There's what I think will happen, and there's what I hope will happen. I guess we'll pivot into what's your dream for the 30th? What is your dream? My dream of all dreams is PK's talked about it a bunch. I've talked about it before too. Like a Super Smash Brothers collab. You get like poncho type situations. You get like I used to main on N64 Smash. I used to main the blue wizard hat Pikachu. So like getting that on a card, getting that on an SIR style card, that would be fantastic. I would throw a lot of money at that. My dream would be something like that, something more realistic, a more smart goal, dream, whatever you want to call it, would be like a Johto, like a 251 is what I would hope they would do. But will they actually do either of those? I don't know. Bringing back crystals would not be that surprising. So when they did celebrations, I think Nick and I talked about this before on PokeFlipz. When they did celebrations, they did like Delta Species. I have this Mimikyu in front of me. They did the Gold Star Greninja. They did Prime. They had the Dragapult Prime. They did Level X. They did like almost everything. They didn't do Crystal. They didn't do
Shining.
There was a.
Did they do Shining?
There was a Shining Magic.
Shining.
Oh, that's right. The Magic.
Yeah, they did one, and then they did wasn't it Shining Toxicity? No, light Toxicity.
Light and dark.
So they did light and dark. They did almost everything over the 25-year history of the hobby, but Crystal was like one of the bigger misses. It felt like. So maybe they're like, oh, whoops, we forgot about those. Let's bring those back for our 30th. I don't know, but it feels plausible. Oh, no break cards. So we need to get Crystal. We need to get break cards because everyone misses those. What else? Well,
the legend cards, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, we didn't get legend cards. So I asked like 3 things there, but what do you hope happens for the 30th? What do you think will actually happen? And then what else did we miss from celebrations, if anything else?
I think we got them all. Yeah, no, like I'm on board with you. I'm hoping it'll be a Johto set. Add more shinings, add the crystals. Maybe get into like the EX era, add some gold stars in there. I also hope I do really like celebrations. And it being a small set is part of the reason I do like it. But then at the same time, I almost hope that it's going to be a little bit bigger of a set, like double the size of Celebrations, because Celebrations is a very, very small set. So I do hope there's more to it than with Celebrations.
Yeah, I would. basically the Johto idea, but it would be fun to see like a legendary collection too.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
think the legendary collection reverses are just super cool, and we haven't seen them since legendary collection. So even if they did do a celebrations, it'd be cool if they gave us like one or two of those firework reverse hollows in there to chase as well. But
I didn't even think of that. That would be really good too. That would be really good because those reverse hollows are so good.
So Ponga wants a stained glass set, like a la Shiny Vault from Hidden Fates and Shining Fates, to get like a full stained glass, like SG instead of Galarian Gallery. That would be really cool. Getting SG1 through SG100 or whatever it may be. That would be like, I've said this many times. Artists will art. There are so many things Pokemon has in their back pocket that will just make us lose our collective minds. Because you could do 251, like 151 was one of those things. I feel like people have talked about that before. Like you had to have base, jungle, and fossil to get all three sets. Having all of them in one set was just like a easy thing to do. They could do that for every generation. They did it for Black and White recently, obviously. But 251, Gen 3, was that an additional? Would that be 351? I don't know how many Pokemon were in Gen 3. I feel like it was over 100 though.
I have no idea.
whatever that would be called, 121 or whatever would be appropriate for that. There's so many things they could do. That's why I think there's things at times in Pokemon in cardboard that are, especially in some of the plastic encapsulated cardboard, that gets a little bit bubbly, a little bit frothy, a little bit like maybe pump the brakes a little bit. But I am bullish on cardboard for the long term. Pokemon hasn't touched shillizations yet. If Pokemon like starts losing us a little bit, they can just whip out of their back pocket like 251. They can whip out this Super Smash Brothers collaboration. And they can do it in a way too. I was actually listening earlier this morning to like a Magic the Gathering podcast video type deal. And people were just talking about how Magic is like so far losing what it was, what it was like for the first 25, 30 years of its existence. Collaborating with SpongeBob and collaborating with like all these things that like make no sense. Like it's one thing. Pokemon, I feel like, has Nintendo, Game Freak, they have a lot easier transition into massive IPs without it feeling contrived, without it feeling like a cash grab, as people call it, right? I mean, you throw a Pikachu and a Mario and a Luigi hat, it doesn't like feel wrong. It doesn't feel like it's violating anything, because again, they're all in that Nintendo umbrella, and they could go with all the different, like Zelda, Link. They could go with like all the different Mario. They could go deeper on. They could go so many different IPs under that umbrella that would feel not cash grabby. That would feel like not contrived, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't done. Even if Smash Brothers had its own card game, it just makes sense. There's so many characters and so many. It's literally characters battling each other. Like it's basically, why not? Yeah.
I had a short come out recently. Dan, do you ever get tired of saying the same thing over and over for years on end? Point to a YouTube channel that doesn't do that. I mean, point to like any mainstream media, point to any, like, everything is just people saying the same thing over and over. No matter how many times I say it, there's somebody hearing it for the first time, every time, I would wager. And I enjoy talking about it because even though a lot of the broader concepts are the same, the people involved are different, the sets involved are different. Like there are some different things going on. But Brad, I'm going to push back with this. Brad, do you ever get tired of just like whining so much in the comments towards the guy on YouTube that's saying the same thing? Like, I'm saying the same thing over and over. You're crying about it. I'm pushing back. I'm poking you back, and it's like, don't you ever get tired of that? I don't. So I'll see you next week. I'll see you the week after that, and on, as long as you want to engage.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
My number one fan. I cannot lose him if I tried. Hold on, Brad. Brad, you can only see the tip of his hat right there, but there's the signed gray felt hat Pikachu from the beatdown in Chicago on the basketball court. Oh, here we go. Grammar's got Java in mind here. Java would go crazy for that stained glass.
Oh yeah,
Bruxish.
would love it. Be amazing.
Think-
Best Pokemon ever.
Think of the colors though. I'm not even memeing here. I mean, Bruxish got some cool colors going on. That would be a pretty cool looking card, I think. I mean, maybe someone out, maybe we got an artist out there that can mock up some rendition of that. I mean, Bruxish has a pretty cool color palette. I think that would work well with the stained glass style.
You could make any Pokemon have cool colors. We don't need a stupid Bruxish.
Thank you.
Stop it.
Oh man. I'm not even lying. I'm not even memeing. We caught that in Pokemon Go. I don't think there was like a day for it or whatever, but I remember I caught it in Pokemon Go. My daughter was so excited. The rainbow fish, whatever she was calling it, like she genuinely enjoyed Bruxish when she first met him in Pokemon Go. It was a funny interaction that I won't forget.
You just need to show her a picture of what the real life version of that fish looks like, and then you'll scar for life.
I'll avoid that scarring, at least for now. I'll let her discover that someday on her own. This is yeah. Do you think they're gonna do a Lego promo for the release next year? I can see Lego stores turning into a mayhem.
We have wild.
Like this isn't just guessing. We actually have history on this, right? Like Build-A-Bear got promos that they gave out in store with the Build-A-Bears. So there is not that doesn't make it guaranteed, but like it feels like it could and should happen. It feels pretty likely. So yeah, imagine Pokemon 30th. Like I don't agree with people that say that we can't stop booming because the 30th exists, but I understand where they're coming from. Like the 30th, Lego, yes, there are lots of reasons to be potentially bullish, but I always have to give that caveat, that potential downside, all that stuff. Were either of you like really, really into Lego growing up?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
We couldn't afford like the big sets, but we just had like buckets of just random Legos, and we would just like create stuff all the time. Yeah.
I love the creator buckets. I had my dad handed me down ones from when he was younger. So I have a batch from like his would be from the late 70s, early 80s. I have like a tote full of that, and then I have a tote of mine from the late 90s, early 2000s. I haven't given them all to my son yet because it's just way too many. But it's been fun to build some of the Mario sets with him. Unfortunately, building some of the like fake Lego Pokemon ones with him in the past couple of years. I am excited / scared for my wallet in the coming years because like you, Java, I remember looking through the Lego magazine. I'd get it in every Christmas. They'd send out like a magazine, and I just like the sets that I wanted. And I didn't have the massive fire station, the massive police station. That there was the massive like Western. Yeah. Like I was not into Star Wars, so I never got into any of those. But I had a lot of fun with Legos, and I'm a little bit scared. Pokemon and Lego collabing. Yeah, I'm a little scared what it's gonna do to the old wallet, but I'm also excited too. If I take advantage of it properly, but I mean, maybe I go deep on some of the promos. Maybe I buy them in mass when they first come out and they spike, and I just get a bunch of free Legos from all the promo gains. Or maybe I buy them high, they get dumped, and then I get wrecked and just lose more money.
Aren't minifigures a thing? Like or you just buy like the minifigure and not particularly a set?
You can buy like blind boxes of them. They have like different series they launch every couple of months, I think.
It'd be interesting if they did, because I think every amiibo came with a card, like a backing card or something like that. So if like every minifigure came with like a promo card inside or something, that'd be crazy.
But, yeah. And yeah, blind box, like I think they're in cases of like 10 or 12. You go into Walmart or wherever, Target, and there's just like blind boxes of Lego you can buy like minifigure series 12, and they have a baker and a doctor and a farmer and a teacher, whatever. Like they have different themes for each series. So if they just have like a whole year multi-series run of like, hey, this is Gen 1s, this is Gen 2s, it like, man, the amount of things that can just be done to just again make us lose our minds in cards, outside of cards. Shut up and take my money will be said a lot of times next year. I think it's very bullish long term on cardboard and Pokemon in general.
And then Java brought up we got the fossil exhibit coming to the Field Museum in Chicago next year. So I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see if they have a promo for that too, or what the deal with that. I can't wait for that. That'll be fun. Hopefully, be able to actually go in and see it without a mob of people.
Are you investing in Aerodactyls yet, or are you going with the PSA 10 from Fossil? Are we thinking Lost Origin? Like, what are we? What's the play here? What's the spec?
Easily the Lost Origin one. Easily.
Yeah, that one is so good.
Let's see. Brad and I have fun. We have our little thing we have going on here, and it's a good time. Alex PokeCR wants to see a Pikachu poncho, Link, or Ghostbuster before he dies. I think I think Pikachu donning clothes will happen more in the future. We did get a hat recently, and everyone lost their minds. So, like, I think it's inevitable. I think Pikachu putting clothes on again is inevitable. Hopefully he does it. Crossing over some IPs. We'll see what happens, though. Brad
is him wearing clothes more popular than him eating?
I mean, they're both. They're both. Yeah, they're both bullish. They're both very bullish. Java, a fan of Short King Zard instead of Bruxish. A Lego mini set like the Rumble one would print stupid. Absolutely. Oh, what if there's some massive? Yeah. What could the promo be? I mean, just Pikachu cosplaying as like different
Aerodactyl
dinosaurs. Yeah, I guess special delivery Aerodactyl, Pikachu riding on it. There's just like
the next special delivery card, that'd be wild.
You guys better pay everyone on your street to go with you to the museum. Rent a bus for the day. Drive everyone down. You guys better be doing that.
Yes.
Lego Pikachu gonna make Burger Pikachu look like a joke. Here we go. Grimer wants to hear Java's thoughts on the DLC coming out in 4 weeks.
I could care less. I haven't finished the main game, so I think Pokemon games having DLCs is kind of funny to me because I don't know. It just I haven't picked up the main game in the last few weeks. I got past like the 7-hour like Act 1 tutorial basically. And then I haven't really picked it up because I feel like I know what the next 25 hours is going to be, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if I'm in for the long haul on that. But yeah, the coolest stuff will probably be in the DLC because that's what they did with Scarlet and Violet was they took all the cool part of the story and they put it in the DLC in the last 2 minutes of 2 hours of the game. So, but yeah, not into it.
I haven't engaged with. I have a couple people that like I went to high school with that are playing it. They say it's really fun. I said I've heard like mixed things in the Discords I'm in the Instagram pages I follow, whatever. I've seen like mixed signals. Some people really don't like it at all. Some people seem to really like it. I don't know. I play old school RuneScape. So it's like, if you're talking about graphics, it's like, I don't personally care about graphics. If the gameplay is fun, and for me, RuneScape it checks the boxes that I'm seeking to have checked. I've bought all the mainline Pokemon games, but I don't actually own Legends Arceus. I don't own Z to A. I guess I'll buy them at some point with the thought that like way down the line someday, I would like to play them all eventually. But honestly, I'll probably just emulate and play them on like fast forward because that's one thing that drives me kind of crazy is like how slow the dialogues are. And it's just like if I can save, I'm a 2x demon on YouTube. I from time to time I'll make my Netflix go 1.25x.
What? When you're watching a movie?
That's crazy.
Stop it.
That I couldn't do. YouTube I can do. Movies and TV shows I don't think I could do that.
I'm a demon. I mean, 2x on YouTube. If you go from watching a 2x YouTube video to watching Netflix on 1x, it's like it hurts my brain. I'm not even gonna try 2x though. I say that today. A year from now, I'm gonna be saying, "Hey guys, I'm at 3x on YouTube. I'm at 2x on Netflix." But yeah, 1.25x is workable. It's workable. Try it out.
That sounds terrible.
It's more efficient.
Just killing
I mean,
your
come on.
attention span.
I know.
You
It's
just
bad.
not
Little by little.
watch stuff.
I actually need to I really need to turn off YouTube and occasionally like read a book. I have a backlog of books to read. I'm going to do that someday. I promise.
Oh, God, I haven't read a book in years.
Neither have I.
I know I'm so bad. And there's some that I really want to read. Prem says, "Did you see the Mega Dream leaks on Poke Beach? Also, will be at least 243 with 50 SRs, SIRs." I don't have much to say on that. I'm not a big spoiler guy, so I didn't. I think I saw a couple spoiler tags in Discord. What do you guys think about that?
They basically just put the Gengar that should have come out in Phantasmal Flames and then put it in that set.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be cool. It's got Dragonite, so
Mega Dragonite, right? The wing-headed Mega Dragonite.
yeah,
Dumb-looking Dragonite.
I think it looks fine. I think people get way too emotional just before they even see it in its element on the card, in the game, whatever. I think it'll be fine. I think people just like to be in an uproar. People like to be in an uproar.
They did my boy Dragonite dirty. It's not fair.
Dratini Dragonair into Dragonite is just such a weird thing anyways. It's like the wings on the head, it doesn't feel like out of line with the evolution line in general. The evolution line is just odd.
Yeah.
Obviously
and
they
made the shiny blue like Dragonair and Dratini.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Because
kinda cool.
Dragonite is green, right?
Green,
Shiny.
yeah.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I play Pokemon Go, so I'm thinking of the way that I'll engage with it. I'll have my shiny. Well, I don't know if I have a shiny. Yeah, I think I do have a shiny Dragonite. I'll have my shiny Dragonite that'll be green, and then I'll Mega Evolve him into this wing-headed blue Mega. Which, yeah, that is a little weird. I'll survive though, I'm sure. Is Mega Dream? Is that ME3? Is that after Phantasmal or is that 4? I don't even know.
I think that's 3. I
'Cause
don't think we've
the
heard
way,
of this after Phantasmal at this point. So it must be that.
Didn't we see one like I tried to minimally engage. I'm so engrossed in the internet. I'm way too. It's gross how engrossed I am in like the online portion of the Pokemon space. So I can't help but seeing it. Like YouTube channels will talk about it, Instagram, Discord, without whatever. I accidentally engage with it more than I want to. But I thought I saw a list like a couple months ago of like the next 6 set names or something. Wasn't that a thing?
Oh yeah, there was a leak that
was that not confirmed or was that confirmed? It was a lot of like Gen 3-esque things, I think.
Yeah, that they were gonna do like a black and white set, but for Gen 3, like Emerald and Ruby,
something or other. Yeah. I again, I didn't like investigate into it deeply. I guess maybe somebody listening is gonna be like, "Oh, Dan, you're spoiling these things for me that I hadn't had spoiled yet." But yeah, I don't know. There's definitely times where it's like I can barely keep straight what sets have already come out in what order. And people are talking about like pre-orders and prices for sets that are like 2 sets away. It's crazy. The whole
hate that. It's
the whole
I
spoiler
can't
season.
stand it.
Yeah, it's really nuts. We have the whole dynamic with Japan obviously getting things earlier. So like some of it is just there's no way around it. With Japan having a release weeks, months in advance, like it's obviously it has to happen. It's going to happen. But people really get like crazy. It's like, man, Mega has not even been out that long, and Phantasmal is just about to drop, and that's not to say, Prem, like I'm not mad you asked the question or whatever. Like it's a very common thing. I just like I can't keep up with what's going on, and to get so far ahead, like I don't do anything with that information. I don't really like plan that far ahead.
I feel like Mega Evolution just came out.
Oh, I guess it's
Seriously.
3.5.
A month ago or something. Now you have Phantasmal next week. It's like,
It's crazy.
So it's M2A. So it's gonna be a specialty set after it's gonna be a specialty set on after Phantasmal, I guess. So no booster boxes. It's gonna be ETBs and stuff. Those are one thing I'll say, like for live streams. Nick, I don't know how it is for you. My like pack allocation of main sets is so much better than my pack allocation of ETBs. Specialty sets are dark. Trying to get PK, Ponga, so that they're sorted out for the weekend. I'm talking just launch weekend. Just from Friday to Sunday, it is a logistical nightmare. I send them all I can, and it's very little. And then I have them buying from other places, Hills and wherever else. We're buying from like P Football Pete on eBay to just sell stuff at like break even or slight loss, just so that it's there, just so that it's present for the stream. Because I don't want to like not have the hype latest set. And actually on that note too, have either of you gotten a note from your distributors yet? ETBs, my Wave 1 ETBs are not shipping next week. They are not present.
Really?
I think both my distros. I know GTS told me that they're not that yet there. They are not going to be in my Wave 1 allocations coming, booster bundles, 3-pack blisters, whatever else. But ETBs are not going to be there.
Huh.
They're going to be.
I haven't heard anything on that. No.
They're going to be a week or two later or whatever. And ETBs, like I get a decent amount of ETBs. So like ETBs are a reasonable amount of my allocation as far as like pack wise for the stream. So it's, I think I'll be fine. I think I get enough cases of booster boxes that I'll send to PK and Ponga. But it's, we're booming. I mean, there's a 2-wave thing going on. It happened with Mega as well. Mega had 2 waves, but like portions of 1 wave got pushed back a little bit further than they were supposed to be. And it was like Wave 1, A and B, and then Wave 2. So it's like Phantasmal is already the same thing. Absolutely wild.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. Because I looking at my order, it doesn't look like the ETBs are shipping with everything else. So that's interesting.
No.
Huh. Yeah, I did not even notice that.
What do you guys think about YouTube doing what YouTube does? Like Mega Evolution Wave 2 relatively recently came out. It's been a little while now. But like the whole crash, this new set that was $300 is now $250. It's down 20-25%. The market's crashing. The skies. What are your guys' thoughts on? I think I know your answer, but like a little bit of commentary around what's your thoughts around that? Because I have some thoughts that I want to share too.
I think it's so dumb. I can't stand it. People just do it to get clicks and get views because people want to hear about it, and so the worse off you can make videos, the better. I almost wonder like if Rudy and all these people just didn't make market videos saying that, okay, the boom is over, Pokemon's starting to crash. Would it be different than if than what's happening right now, where we're crashing, or would it actually play out the exact same? I do think it would have been. I do think there's an argument that it could have been a little bit different, and it wouldn't have like crashed, even though the crash that we're seeing is still not anything that's considered a crash.
I don't know. It's hard to say what all this would do absent like influencers, right? And Ponga says people are pathetic, but like it just is what it is. And I haven't made the video yet. I'm still probably a month or 2 away from making it, but I'm in a multi-month experiment right now. I occasionally do it. I put is the market gonna crash ? Like I do the things to get the clicks, and people come in. Sometimes they leave a comment like, "Oh, I can't believe Dan did this in his thumbnail. I can't," like whatever. But it's like the numbers are there. People when you incite some emotion and take a page out of mainstream media's book, when you incite an emotion, you are just more likely to get a click. You're more likely to get a viewer. And that's what YouTube largely encourages. That's what and I don't by any stretch of the imagination, fully play the game. If I was fully playing the game of YouTube, and my channel would be very much different than it is right now. But I played a little bit. I think everyone makes their own choices on how much they're going to play it. I think if I didn't play it at all, I think I would have half the subscribers I have, which is already for how long I've been on YouTube and all that. At the scale I'm doing business versus the scale of my social media following, I think they're already pretty disproportionate. If I didn't play the game whatsoever, I would have 1,000 subs or 2,000. It would be a lot less, I think. So I don't know. It's an interesting conversation, but people get mad at it, but they wouldn't watch if you didn't do it. So it's they are fueling the thing that they supposedly don't like.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a sad state of reality, but there's just a lot of people that just go around the internet wanting to be angry. They click into these different things and they comment and they engage, just getting rage baited. And a lot of people just spend a lot of their existence being very angry at things that they're choosing to engage with. It's kind of wild and it's pretty sad, but it is what it is. But one thing I wanted to, I laid the question out there so that I could touch on this. One thing that scares me, and I think is kind of a bear case for Pokemon, is just the levels of lunacy that we have. In my opinion, if Destin were to go to 200 a box, in my opinion, I will I'm going to say it up front. If Destin goes to 200, I'm going to make a YouTube video that says crash in it. There's going to be a Destin Rivals box. There's going to be a red line. But in my true opinion, that's not a crash. If and when Destin goes to 200 a box, I've made this analogy before. The PS5 comes out. It's $600 MSRP. But the people that can't wait, impatient, whatever, they want to have it first. They want to beat their games first, whatever. They want to be on the leaderboards and all the games they play. They pay $1,000. They pay $2,000. They pay whatever they pay, because the market has not yet distributed enough to meet the short-term demand that is the highest it will be, and then supply catches up, and then the price goes down to MSRP. I truly think that's what's going to happen with all these sets. Could be wrong, blah, 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 all that stuff. But if and when Destin goes to the 200 bucks, I will not deem it a crash. But frankly, all these dummies, I have sold private deals to some people, several cases of some of these brand new sets, and it's I'm averaging in. I've sold to some people who are buying what's Destin right now, 350, something like that.
Is it?
I've sold multi cases to people who bought multi cases at 400 plus a box, people that were buying $2,500, $3,000 cases of Destin Rivals, thinking it was a solid play, and now they're averaging down, and it's maybe it's the best buying opportunity you'll get on Destin Rivals, but I don't think it will be. And if and when all these people see this crash and they start to realize oh, this stuff actually can go down and be available at MSRP, how bearish some people will take that, it's a little scary. It's a little scary. I don't know if it'll be my Monday video, but the path back to we will, I guarantee we will eventually get back to MSRP. I guarantee Pokemon will eventually get back to MSRP, and it might be one hell of a bumpy ride because so many people are just insane.
Not the G word.
I'm not guaranteeing it within the year. I'm not guaranteeing it for Destin Rivals. I'm not picking a set in particular, but we will get there for a set. Maybe I won't be a part of it. Maybe I'll die this weekend. I don't know. Hopefully not. But I can't guarantee that I'll be there to see it. But it will happen.
You're there to see it.
Hopefully not.
I promise. Hopefully not. Hopefully in my lifetime, sometime in the next 50 plus years. But it will happen. And just the sheer amount of lunacy that people are saying oh, it's different for forever. People are projecting the last 1 year out into eternity. That is absurd. And that is so common. And I'm selling to some people who they're supposedly like they're going to put in millions of dollars, and it's really scary. And I mean, as long as they're happy to just buy and watch it go down a bunch and truly will double down and buy more, like it'll all be fine. But I just think if and when some of these people see the prices actually go down 50%, they'll feel it as a crash and they'll just panic and leave, and I'll be buying it back from them for half of what I sold it to them for. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully that is not the case, but it is definitely a risk. I don't know if either of you watch any of Anon TCG's videos.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to have really good connections with like distro and all that, and he makes a lot of Magic videos, kind of like Rudy. Very different from Rudy in the content he makes, but like Rudy, he's more in Magic, it feels, but he does some Pokemon as well. Sounds like Magic Hasbro is getting into like really dumping a lot of product on distros, and people don't really like think about it, but he mentioned in a recent video like that could have cascading effects onto Pokemon, like through no fault of Pokemon itself. What Hasbro does to some extent like affects Pokemon and affects what the prices of Pokemon market will do, likely, because not everyone, but a lot of the big LGSs, a lot of the big buyers of Pokemon are big buyers of Magic as well. So if they just if they get $100,000, $200,000 of Magic dumped on them in a given week, it just might be that much harder for them to actually buy all their Pokemon. And if and when Pokemon does a big drop, like the two things could work together to soften the market in the short term. And yeah, I don't know. Once the product doesn't become scalpable, now, like how much demand do the botters, how much demand do the notification discords actually provide? Are they 10% of the demand? Are they 1% of the demand? No idea. But once we go under MSRP, that entire chunk of demand is just gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that ultimately is still making it to the market. The notification Discord users, they would do whatever they do. They sell it to me, they sell it to Nick, they sell it to whoever, sell it on a stream. So it eventually gets to the end consumer, but it definitely just adds more additional cost that doesn't have to be there. A lot of ranting and rambling to just discuss the state that we're in, but it's silly and it's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have the same. It'll be interesting, but like I don't think we can have the same type of crash that we had in 2020, just because of how many more people are into it, and when boxes and packs do drop to MSRP or whatever the new normal is going to be, you're going to have so many more people that are buying, because right now you have people that aren't buying because they can't afford it. So when pricing gets lower, they're going to start buying it again.
When price goes down, demand goes down, Nick.
Yeah. No, I don't
They
think
won't
so.
want it.
I don't think so. I'm not convinced.
There's definitely people who will buy more as it goes down, if it goes down. But most people that say that will just be gone. Most people are here because of the drama, because of the scalpers, the us versus them. Like, that's what they're here for. They think they want the product. They just want the drama. Genuinely. There are a decent portion of the people engaging in the space. They want to go to their local Walmart and see people like fighting. They want to see the Costco videos on TikTok. They want to see somebody standing in front of a vending machine getting restocked. They want to be like a part of that drama, a part of that story. They want to be a victim to that genuinely. Like some people want that excitement in their life. And they say, oh, I want the cards. I want the cards. They don't want the cards. They want like all that stuff going on around it. And once the cards are there, they won't be buying them. How many people is that? Is Dan strawmanning? Is that like one person in the whole world? I know it's not one person in the whole world. It's a large portion of people. Is it hundreds of thousands, millions of people? I don't know exactly, but there's a lot of people like that fit that demographic.
Yeah, I mean, we did a video recently where we talked about like the potential futures of the market, down, up, the bullish, bearish case of each. And you know how far down I think it could still go. So $200 a booster box for Death Survivals is still way up from where I think it could go. So that's yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was actually thinking about this in my car ride today. I'm going to PK's this weekend. Shout out to that. Tune in tomorrow night live on Fanatics. PK and I are going to be doing a bunch of big stuff over there. But I was dropping my dog off at my parents, and I was just thinking while driving. Not listening to YouTube on 2X, just listen to some nice 90s country on Pandora.
That's even worse.
I was thinking for like 20 years from now, what will I be looking back and thinking about today? At the 50th anniversary of Pokemon, what do I genuinely think I'll be looking back on today? Most people, if you ask them, I think, maybe I'm strawmanning, maybe this isn't true, but I think if you ask most people, they'll say like Evolving Skies is $40,000 a box and base set is $150,000 a box and Charizard is $3 million and all like people just assume things are going to go up generally the way they have. I don't know if I think it's 20 years. I think between now and the 50th, there will be a point that we look back on today and we just say like, man, we were all crazy. I don't think it'll be Beanie Baby. I don't think it'll be 90s sports, like not that bad, but I think it'll be pretty bad.
Oh, you're saying it's going to go down so far that we're going to look back and be like,
we were lunatics. Like, Dan, why did you only sell 30 or 40,000 packs down from your 100,000 packs? Why didn't you liquidate your pallets? Why didn't? And I'm saying 20 years. I think we have years to go of this general lunacy bubble, whatever you want to call it. But I really think something obscene is going on that will just not, like, Nick might be familiar with this. 80s coins. If you look at 80s coins, and at some point maybe I'll do a video about this, what I think will happen in 20 or 30 years. It'll probably get terrible views. It'll probably like, oh, Dan, go hang out with Sean from Reserve Investments. You sound too much like him. But I genuinely think a lot of people could benefit from hearing what he has to say. Not that I agree with him one-to-one, but a lot of people will just paint Sean as broadly like, oh, he's a bear. He doesn't know anything. Pokemon only goes up. He says it could, like, he never says it's going to go down. He never like guarantees anything. He says could go up, could go down, all that stuff. It's actually a solid channel, but I think we've got a few more years of like a crazy party that we're all riding this wave and good times, and maybe another decade, maybe longer. But I think 20, 30 years from now, at some point, we'll look back and we'll be like, that was nuts. And that made no sense. And I think a lot of stuff will be stagnant down for several years. Because if you project this out, oh, sealed only goes down, it's deflationary. Like, that stuff can't bear out into eternity. And simultaneously, in this 20 to 30 year future, I think you will have certain cards. I think the PSA 10 base first Charizard in a world like that could be a multi-million-dollar card. I think maybe it's the Rayquaza Gold Star. Maybe it's the Moonbreon. Like, probably not the Moonbreon, but maybe it's like there might be some cards that do really well. There might be some boxes that do really well.
We're doing really well.
Like, generally speaking, I think the craziest things will be the slabs. I think looking back on the slabs, people will be like, we lost our minds. Because one thing that today's slabs will have to compete with that people don't realize, today's Moonbreon will almost guaranteed have to compete with a serialized Moonbreon. And how do you think a pop 30,000 PSA 10, I know it's not today, but like by then, maybe it will be, pop 20, 30,000 PSA 10 Moonbreon, how will that compete against think of the Chocobos, right? They have the golden and the black and the magenta, whatever they are. Like, if there's like 10 different parallels of a 1 of 100 Moonbreon, how is it going to compare against those things? Instantly, a card like that is going to shoot right to the top, be one of the top most expensive cards in the hobby. And I think that's just going to dilute out a lot of the like middle, a lot of the middle stuff that just gets lost to time because it gets so diluted. When our 251s come out, when our 351s, when our Poncho Pikachu sets come out, when our Melee collaborations, Smash Brothers, N64 collaborations come out. I know I just ranted and rambled again for a long time. Thoughts on those things?
I don't think you understand that the Moonbreon is going to be the base set Charizard of this upcoming generation. Obviously.
Oh yeah, you're right. So you're right. That is guaranteed, isn't it?
Guaranteed.
I did forget about that.
Guaranteed.
I don't know. I think it's the coin analogy was decent, but I think it's different because coins you don't have a new generation of people into coins. Not all, but most coin collectors are old. Whereas in Pokemon, you have multiple generations of people who are into Pokemon and keeping it going. So I just think I don't think it's going to be the same. I don't think it'll ever. I don't think we'll keep booming like we are forever. But I do think it's always going to be something that's really really popular and will continue to go through these like ups and downs.
And actually, one reason that I want to make this video is I want to educate myself, because I know vaguely of the 80s coin thing. I know vaguely what happened. Institutional money came in. They tried making like index funds, a lot of the things that you hear people talking about in Pokemon right now. And it bubbled up and it boomed. And some of the Morgan dollar, Carson City ones especially. And those were things with like fixed known mintages. Those were things with like actual like print runs that were plainly declared on each coin. Hordes were uncovered, and things that thought were melted down weren't actually. There were other intricacies to that, and I agree, Nick. Generally, like a lot, like Pokemon is a lot better than coins in the way that it picks up the youth and it carries the youth on and multi-generation, all that stuff. I agree on all that, but like there are coins today that are worth significantly more than they were worth in the 1980s. There are some that are worth like lower, especially inflation adjusted. Like what I'm saying is it's not going to be one-to-one. It's like when you make the analogy between surging sparks and vivid voltage. People say, oh, you can't do that. You can't compare between two things that are different because they're not 100% identical. So you can't do it. I'm not saying it's going to exactly be the 80s coin thing, but I don't think it'll be Beanie Babies. I don't think it'll be sports. I think it'll be 80s coins-esque. I think it will have some characteristics of it. I think there will be a lot of cards that are just flat down inflation adjusted, and I think there'll be some cards that provide really good returns over that time period too. I just don't think, and I could be wrong, like they could be printing 50 billion cards a year, 100 billion cards a year in 30 years. They could, like Moonbreon could be 50 grand and Gray Felt Hat could be $20,000. Like I don't think these things will be the case, but like theoretically could be a thing too, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's all an interesting conversation. Old Card Shop wants to know, which of you jokers is responsible for the crash getting canceled? Quilly, are you here to publicly shame? Is the crash canceled? I think we're still crashing, but also booming too.
I haven't looked at YouTube in a while. I can't figure out my personal opinion if I don't see the YouTube thumbnails. So I need to look and then I'll figure it out.
Well, this is one angle of like the experiment that I think will be fun too, is like most Mondays I have both a green line thumbnail and a red line thumbnail. And I think if every week you're getting red lines, I think that's saying something about you and your algorithm. I think that'll be an interesting nugget to like take from it. And I guess it's only going to apply to a select few dozen people that like watch all my videos religiously. But it'll be interesting to see, like, if you are a green line thumbnail every time, or you are a red line thumbnail every time, YouTube must have identified something about you, about your video choosing characteristics. Like, and it'll be funny because, like, probably some subset of those people that always get the red line ones, some subset of those are probably like mad about it. They're probably, Dan, why are you doing red line thumbnails every time? What? And those are the only ones they're clicking. When they get my green one, they don't click. So then the next day, their homepage refreshes and YouTube feeds them the red one. And then they click and they come in mad. Because like the red one, the green one was there the day before. Like if I could get that granular of data on like what % of people were fed A, didn't click, and then were fed B and then clicked, I don't think YouTube gives all that. But like that's where my brain goes. That really, really interesting to think about. Because again, going back to like, I think some people, they would never say it. They would believe this to be untrue about themselves, but some people just want to be riled up. Some people just want to be on, like they choose to be unhappy every day, and they don't realize they're making the choice. But it is, I think it's a way too common of a thing. People just want to be unhappy, and they choose unhappiness.
I can't see it being. I don't think people want to be unhappy. There's people that want to be miserable. I don't know. That might have gone a little too far.
I'm telling you, there are people that like, I say it kind of as a meme, but not entirely. the whole Yub Chums play that I made through my CGC Fanatics. I almost wanted to lose money. Now that's for different reasons. I wanted to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming, all that stuff. But there are people that like they wouldn't consciously know this. They wouldn't consciously say like I would rather be unhappy today than be happy. But people's actions speak louder than their words or their thoughts or their opinions, right? There are people that go throughout their day looking for things to get upset about. There are people that seek out, let me go to CNN, let me go to Fox News, let me go to and just read the headlines and what can I get mad about? That is, I scroll through Facebook for the first time. Like my personal Facebook feed.
Oh,
I have one that my Instagram like cross posts, and it's like back in my day, Facebook used to be like your friends, and it used to be what your friends were doing and the pictures they shared and the trips they went on, and now it's like 20% friends. And it's like 80% just like random crap that I don't even follow or whatever. But most of the headline are just like these sensational things, these things that I don't. But then scrolling down, it's like, oh, well, they're not showing me this one randomly. It's like my old friend from high school commented on this one. So I was just scrolling through. It's like, this is talking about some like Minnesota, whatever thing that went on that has no effect over my life whatsoever. And I look at my old high school friend is in the comments like crying about it. It's like, did they move to Minnesota? Oh no, they live in the town that we grew up in. It's like, what are they doing? They're going on and they're engaging with like literally no effect whatsoever. And a lot of times it's political. But if you ask that person, did they want to be unhappy that day? I think they would say no. But then if you ask them, well, why did you open a Facebook and read a headline that didn't apply to you and go into the comments and fight with people in there? I think that was them subconsciously choosing like things that made them unhappy. So that's what I mean by like people choose unhappiness. It's not like intentional necessarily, but it's something that they do day after day, and it's like crazy. I think it's really, really common too. Maybe I'm wrong, but the additional engagement that comes from like negative thumbnails is something that's kind of like representative of that, I think. Or have I just entirely lost the plot? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, okay. I'll give it to you.
I don't want to quote the exact video. Like I got down some interesting rabbit holes over the past week, really straying from like Pokemon YouTube. I watched some documentaries. I think I said it right that time. I watched some documentaries on like that kind of thing. Mostly around politics. I'm not going to get into politics here, but there's a lot of people that just get sucked into like a vortex on either side to some extent. And they just like spiral into this internet vortex of, and anecdotally, I have friends and family affected by that. And it's very, very sad. They just take in and regurgitate all these one-liners from their, worldview of choice, most of which do not hold up whatsoever to any kind of fact checking or whatever. It's crazy. So if my comments seem like really, where's Dan coming from with all this? It's a rabbit hole that I went down in the past week on YouTube. Pokemon said he lost respect for me for not being in the Star Wars. I'm telling you, like,
wild. I don't know.
I'm telling you,
PokeFlipz. I don't know.
I never like. I was into Pokemon. I was into Lego, and then all of high school was just like sports, and then a handful of video games. I didn't get into Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't get into, like, no other card games. I didn't really get any deep into any like movie fandom. I don't think. Like I don't know. I guess Harry Potter. Those are the only books like that. That is the longest series by far of books that I ever read. And I watched all the movies, and the wife plays the movies quite a bit. Harry Potter is like one other thing that I'm relatively into, but not as much as my wife. Lord of the Rings, I never watched. I feel like that's another big one. I
gotta go. Oh man, I gotta go. All right. I gotta go open the store. See you later.
I'm like pretty familiar with the premise
moly, what?
Of both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, but like I skipped them both. Game of Thrones I never watched. I feel like that was like a pretty big worldwide phenomenon that most people got. I never watched Game of Thrones. I think there's a lot of things like that I just never. I skipped on them. To devote more time to Pokemon and RuneScape and the things that I like.
RuneScape and RuneScape and RuneScape.
What are the biggest? So you guys watch Star Wars, you guys watch Lord of the Rings. What are the biggest things that like everyone's watched or engaged with that you guys haven't engaged with, if that makes sense? Is there anything you can think of? What's in the cultural zeitgeist that you are aware of?
I mean, I never watched any of like the Twilight movies, and those were massive, but they were not really for my demographic either. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've not watched those either.
That is true. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything. I didn't watch Breaking Bad when it was on. Does that count? But I watched it later on.
I watched most things later on, but that I watched most of that while it was on.
I feel like I catch most things.
Yeah.
Here we go. Zard Lurking says, Java, do you think we need a serialized Zard, or is that too much for the hobby to handle?
I mean, we don't need one, that's for sure. I think before they do that, I think they could do like a limited print of like a promo or something where it's like kind of like they did with the Chinese Mew, where it was like, oh, we only printed 1,000 and whatever it was. I forget how many they actually printed, but they could do something like that, some sort of limited promo before they did like a true serialized. But yeah.
The thing I don't like about the Mew is like that Anchorman. I don't believe you. I don't believe that there are 1,510 of those Chinese Mews. I like PK Ono.
What?
I don't believe them. I like illustrators. I go way back. Money. That's why.
No,
yeah, but even if they put a number on the bottom, they could still lie about it.
Well, then it can come up. If they put 1 of 1510, 2 of 1510, 3 of 1510, they can get caught. If they don't put a number, they can't get caught. Every limited run Pokemon card in existence, every single one has extra copies. But
then they just print them without the number, and it's an error.
But I'd rather that. I'd rather that. I'd rather there be 1,510 hard numbered, provably, and there might be instances where they print like 2 number 57s, and you never see them both at once. Like, but if they tried printing 5 times as many, there would be public instances of like there's number 33, there's number 33. You guys are lying to us. But like I like the idea of serialized cards for limited release ones because PK Ono, I go way back E4 days. When I first like learned about the Illustrator, I never knew about it when I was younger. I learned about it like as I got back into E4. There was supposedly 4, and then there was 9, and then there was 11, and there was 13, and there was 19, and there was 39, and now there's like 100 graded. I don't like that can happen. I don't like that extra copies can exist. If they hard numbered things, like say there was 39 illustrators awarded, give me 1 to 39. Oh, well, who's going to get number 1? Randomize it. Who cares? If you're winning an illustrator, if you're winning a trophy Pikachu at the World Championships, do you care if you get number 1 of 9 or 3 of 9 or 9 of 9? Like some dummies probably would, but like, man, you're getting a trophy card that is made for you for winning the World Championships. I wish they would hard number stuff like that because the extra copy thing, I really don't like. Having owned trophy cards, having owned cards that were affected by that. I think I own 6 separate full art Pikachus. 5 of the 6 I bought directly from the winners. The 6th one that I owned, I'm pretty sure was an extra copy, but I don't know for sure. Art Academies, I've owned Art Academies that I know were extra copies. I know because there were some of the ones that the illustrator, the winner, never sold many. I bought extra copies through Collector's Cash, who sold many, many extra copies over the years through some contact they had at whatever. But I think serialized, like I think inevitably it will come into like the main cards anyways, but I think it needs to come sooner rather than later in trophy promo type cards. That's my potentially hot take. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, should serialized cards be there for the World's trophies for like cards that are supposed to be 1,510 of them, or do you just believe them well enough that like there's truly only 1,510 of those Chinese Mews?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Nick doesn't want to answer that one. Too hot.
This is the CCP breathing down his neck. No, no, I get your point for sure. There could definitely be more than that out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was more than that out there. I don't know. I just think there's it's like black labels. Like serialization just adds so much unnecessary. Well, I guess it does kind of make more sense though, because it's legit. If there legitimately is only, you know, X amount, then there is a, you know, it's a manufactured rarity or scarcity or whatever to them. Then I don't know. It's just in the question, it was more like, do they need to do this? No, they don't. They definitely don't. Not. That's like a life-saving measure, I feel like, for Pokemon, is to spice things up, kind of like Magic did with the Lord of the Rings thing. Like, Magic wasn't dying or anything, but that brought so many eyes to Magic and their new Universes Beyond, I think is what it's called, those sets. Like, I know you said people kind of complain about the Universes Beyond, that it's like Magic is losing what they grew over the last 25 years. I wouldn't care about Magic at all if it wasn't for Universes Beyond. So, but maybe that's
bringing a lot of new people.
Yeah, maybe, you know, that's the point of what they're trying to do. But I could see Magic players being like, I don't like this, but I think it's pretty cool.
What do you think, Nick? Should they bring hard serials?
Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
Should they bring hard serialization to cards like the Chinese Mew that's supposedly 1,510 copies?
I think it would be better if they did that, but at the same time, I don't think it's needed necessarily. Because the Pokemon came out and said I think we got to trust what Pokemon says. There's 1,510 copies of it. Yes, there's probably extras, but is there another 1,500 extras? I would doubt that. I think at some point you just got to trust what this company's saying. They're not going to fleece one over on you, and there's actually 1 million copies of this card.
I could see maybe like the illustrators. Maybe they don't come out this year. Maybe they don't come out now. But like some higher up exec having a couple sheets worth, having a stack of sheets worth. Like, I mean, a sheet is 10% of the print run almost. A sheet is like 121 cards, right? So, and I understand for logistical reasons, for the reason of like sometimes cuts mess up, sometimes the print, whatever. They probably had to print extra sheets. Like 1,510 cards would only be like 15 sheets. They probably print 30 at least. Do those all get destroyed as they should? Ideally, in my mind, a little additional money, add whatever amount of money you need to add to the MSRP of the product. And I don't even know how people are getting that one. Is that one being awarded or is it bought? I don't even know how you get that one.
I think it's awarded.
I don't know.
Because it's like every month. I think it's 151 coming out every month for like 10 months, right? I think they're still coming out. But in any case, it's like it's gonna cost more because you're gonna have to like print them. You're gonna have to number 1 through 151 for the first release, and then 152 through, and so on. As some get stamped improperly, you have to destroy those ones. You have to restamp the right one. Like it's a little bit more tedious, but they can clearly figure it out. Sports has been serializing cards for a long time. I just inherently like that. And I would ask, aside from cost, what's the downside? There's no downside to additional transparency in that regard, in my opinion.
Catchphrase. That's the downside. You can't catch them all when there's a 1 of 1.
See, that's just stupid.
That's true.
Because there's like
it's
that
true.
That is true.
It was literally your name.
They already ruined that with the professor's the Pokemon Go card, right? With the unique code on it. People already can't catch all that
one.
But
a code's not.
I'm not saying make a 1 of 1. I'm like the Mew number 1 and Mew number 100 and Mew number 500. They're the same card. So a completionist can't have every serial number. They can't have a complete serial number run of the 1,510 Mews, but they can have the Mew. I'm not saying make a 1 of 1. I'm just saying when you make a trophy card that's awarded to 9 people, when you make this Mew that's awarded to 1,510 people, prove it. Prove it with a number on there. There's no con other than a little bit of cost. Pokemon can swing stamping 36 trophy cards every year. I promise. Increase the spectator badge cost by a penny to each person, and you've more than 100 times covered the cost. of what that additional labor for the stamping is. Like cost is the only con to that. And well, no, the big real con to that is you can't give out freebies to higher level employees that get that as kind of like a hidden compensation package. Because to what extent does that go on? I have no clue, but it definitely goes on. And I generally think it's bad for those kinds of cards. But it's an interesting conversation. Having owned some of those cards that were affected by extra copies, having owned some actual extra copies of cards, that like is something that I don't enjoy about that space. Having played in that space, I happen to have a pretty limited card on my desk right now. This is like 100 and... Do you remember, Nick? Is there like 170 of these or something? There's like 170 of these. But like, that's intended distribution. Is there actually 500? Is there actually like... Regardless, like it's rare, but I just don't like extra copies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look on E4, see if I can find that article. I forget how many victory rings there were. I'm already on the spreadsheet. Victory rings from 0304. Illustrator was Akabane.
Oh God, you know there's like
so intended distribution is 291. Mr. Akabane, he his name sounds familiar. I don't recall exactly why his name sounds so familiar, but I would wager, I guess, that there's less than 200. Sorry, there's more than 291 of these floating around. If mine said number 136 of 291, I'd like it a lot more.
But how many of those extra copies have a dot matrix of 2024?
That's the thing. I've got a 2 cert, so mine was graded a long time ago, so it's going to garner a premium in like 10 years. When people flip on the whole cert thing. Newer cert better right now. The older the cert is, the more likely it wasn't treated with Kurt's Card Care. The older the cert is, the more likely it wasn't an extra copy. The older the cert is, the more likely it wasn't printed in the past 6 months.
That is
so there's a lot of pros.
Very true. True.
What did James say in Discord? I don't know if you saw it, Java, in the paywall. He said, "Old cert, no Kurt," or something like that. So old cert, no Kurt's premium.
That's good.
So yeah, serialized cards, I think they're inevitable on a long enough timeline. I think we could use them sooner rather than later when it comes to trophy cards. But like I agree with the general sentiment. I don't want them in booster boxes. I don't want them in mainline product distributed through like LGSs and stuff. If and when they ever come to more traditional cards, I want like a collector's booster. Maybe they only sell it on Pokemon Center. Like I'm fine with Pokemon making money. They made a 1 of 5,000 Master Ball. They've made limited watches, limited skateboards. They're already doing limited product. I'm perfectly fine with it. Some people will get, oh, I can't afford that. It's if they make an analogous thing that can go into your binder in your deck with the same artwork, and they just make an extra special one for $1,000 for whatever it is. Like I don't care. I think it's weird when people get like, oh, I don't want that to happen. Just don't engage with it if you don't like it, right? You're not entitled to be able to buy every product line that a company comes out with. And I've talked about this before too, but like if you look at the highest grossing media franchise of all time, most of it is not cardboard. Most of it is merchandise. So the skateboards, the Master Balls, that stuff makes them more money than the Pokemon cards do, which I think a lot of people in the space don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
But all interesting conversations. I definitely do want to live in an alternate world where robots rule. Definitely. I for one embrace our robot overlords.
Robot overlords.
Let's see. Oh, that's kind of what my YouTube channel is. Something cool you could do is once a week or a month, keep a journal and write down a few sentences on how you feel about the Pokemon market as a whole. I don't do it a lot, but I occasionally will go back and I'll look at my thumbnails. I'll look at my titles. I'll click into one. Like, what were Nick and I saying on PokeFlipz 3 years ago? Some of it, I think for the most part, like it's aged pretty well. I remember not too long ago, I hearkened back to it in a video, but Nick and I had James on around Vivid Voltage, and the reprint came, and it was at the time that YouTubers were saying that it was guaranteed to not go under 200. Nick and I were like, we took our allocation and we sold it into the market. We just took it and we took it from here and we put it to here, and we took money and we put it in our bank account. And it panned out really well for us. That product was available 4 years later for cheaper. I think we're saying a lot of the same things right now with respect to Destined Rivals Mega Evolution at 250, 300. Not quite to the same extent. I don't think it's gonna Vivid Voltage exactly, but like I think it'll go down. Not as far, not as long, but I think it will go down similarly.
But then we did also have a major screw up with Mason. Remember when we had Mason on and we said Moonbreon at $300 was a dumb buy?
Correct. We definitely have some things that didn't age as well. I have videos out there. I didn't guarantee it ever. That's one big distinction. There are videos out there. There were videos out there that you could point to where people guaranteed Vivid wouldn't go below 200. We never guaranteed Moonbreon would go down. If you ask me, hey, Dan, what do you think Moonbreon's going to be in 6 months? 250, 200, I think it'll go lower. Absolutely. I said that. Did I guarantee it? Did I tell people not to buy it? No. I told people I wasn't buying it and why. That's a huge distinction. But I said I thought MetaZoo was going to outlive Lorcana. MetaZoo is not doing well right now on its second run, its revival. And Lorcana, from what I hear, is doing really bad also. I don't know if it's going to be – I don't know if it'll count or not. But MetaZoo 2 might outlive Lorcana 1.
No, you already lost 2? that.
But I don't delete videos. I made many. Go watch my MetaZoo backlog of videos. There's a lot of things that age pretty poorly. But I think that's the fun in it, right? I'm fallible, unfortunately. Unlike our robot overlords, I'm not programmed to be perfect and precise in everything. And it's fun to see how things age over time. But I truly, I don't know if I'll watch my videos from 20 years ago in 20 years, but I think it'll be fun too. And I think I have an idea which way it'll go from here. We'll be more worried about surviving the ChatGPT uprising. Definitely could be a thing. Oh, this is when I was talking about negative people. Nick hasn't met these kind of people. Clearly, they probably couldn't stand his cheery disposition. They hear his chuckle and they run the other way. That guy is just too happy. I don't trust him. He must be plotting against me. He must be the reason my life is so miserable. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Where'd it go? I lost it. He finally learned how to say documentary.
Brad obviously hasn't learned how to spell.
Dan ignoring Star Wars and Lord of the Rings is him choosing to be unhappy. If a true crash ever happens, Pokemon would resort into making some kind of small serialized set. It'll be interesting. I largely agree. Well, like people just can't deal with like on the fence. Like it doesn't have to be this extreme rocket emojis or this extreme crash to zero. I agree that sets likely won't all be available for under $100. I don't think anytime soon we'll see what we saw 18 months ago. 18 months ago, SV1 through SV4 were all widely available under $100. I don't think that's coming anytime soon either. But like individual sets going under 200, individual sets going under 160. Absolutely. I think that's coming in the next year. I would have said that a year ago, and we've had a year of that not happening. So I guess I would have been wrong a year ago. But I'm gonna keep just making my my guesses and my thoughts known. What are your guys' opinions? Should eUnit sell his overleveraged investments for a loss or double down?
Double down. If you can go into more debt, go into more debt.
Do
Don't
it. Do
stop
it.
until every credit card is maxed out.
Here we go. Earn collects. Earn collects. Shout out to Earn, buyer, collector, grader, investor, trader, something else. I might have called them all. Shout out to Java, store owner, YouTuber, gamer. and my nemesis as the herald of the anti-tag movement.
Nemesis.
That's funny.
Is Ern doing something with tag that I don't know?
I think he wants to be the herald of the anti-tag movement, but you're trying to take that from him. That's the way that it reads to me, at least.
Well, he's just got to make a video that gets over 100,000 views about tag.
I might be reading that wrong, but the way that I read it, it's like you are the herald of the anti-tag movement. A title that he wants is the way that I read it. I think it makes sense, doesn't it?
I think that's kind of how I saw it too.
I could be wrong though. I don't know Ern's opinions on tag, to be honest.
I don't know either.
Dan is only thinking about dollar signs when talking about serialized. Primarily what I'm talking about and thinking about on this channel does have to do with dollar signs, because I am a full-time business in the space. But like genuinely, when it comes to things like this, I'm not affected really directly or indirectly when a world championship happens and those Pikachu trophies get distributed, whether or not they're serialized. Like, I don't own any. I used to own them, but I'm not affected if next year they have numbers or not. But even if I never engage with them again, I just like the thought of like them really being exclusive, them being like for the winner only. And there are the Neo trophies. There's actually, this is way down in the weeds. The Neo trophies years ago, Nick, you probably know, the male and the female. There are some with names on them, and there's some with no names on them. See, I like that. I like that they actually put the name of the winners on them. So now you know what was awarded and what wasn't awarded. So that's another way to get at the same thing. It's like, hey, Jason Klaczynski, this is the one that he won in 2007, whatever year. This is the one that he... Now, I could see where the winners might not love that as much, because when they sell, now it's known that they sold. So I think numbers are better than names, because then there's a little bit of like, someone could sell their copy and people wouldn't really know, oh, that guy paper handed his trophy. Like, why would he do that? I think in certain societies, I think it's like I think anecdotally, the Japanese are less prone to sell their copies than other. That might be due to different factors too. I've had that thought before, that I've always heard that like the Japanese are less likely to sell theirs. Well, the Japanese are traveling across the world to come to the Worlds. So you're probably selecting disproportionately for higher income, higher net worth individuals, right? Because if you're someone that is poorer in Japan, you probably can't afford to go to Worlds. So if you've gone to Worlds halfway across the country, you're probably disproportionately more likely to have money, and therefore less likely to need or to want to sell your trophy card. That's a whole different conversation that has nothing to do with this. But yeah, I would like it better if there were numbers on them. But there probably never will be.
Speaking of Jason, did I tell you he's local to me now in Chicago? We've actually ran into him at a few of the local shows. I just thought of it. Next time we see him, I'll ask him about coming on at some point. He's got some really cool stories.
Does he play still?
No, not competitively. He'll still play with like friends and stuff.
That would be really cool. Yeah. Here we go. I think this is a good one for Java to answer. Maybe not. Been toying with the idea of Pokemon/collectibles vending machines. Is this a boo-boo head business model? Having recently, you've had some interesting conversation. I forget if it was in a video or in a live stream, Java, but you mentioned like a lot of pushback towards opening an LGS. And then you went and did it, and you've been generally successful and happy with having done it. So if you want to talk about all of that and then funnel it into answering this question for Kino.
Vending machines. I don't know, because I feel like don't you have to rent a space for your vending machine, then you have to pay for the vending machine, then you have to keep it stocked. And most of the time when I see the vending machines, I see them on Instagram Reels, and like Pokemon 151 packs are $35 a pack, and it's just like ridiculously stupid. So there are probably Pokemon vending machines that aren't horrible. I don't know if there are like legitimately Pokemon are there actual like Pokemon ones? Like Pokemon runs of vending machines and sells things at like MSRP out of them and stuff? Because I can imagine those are probably a nightmare to get product out of, because probably people just sit just like they do at stores and wait for the vending machine to get restocked and then buy everything out of them. And so I don't know. As far as the LGS thing goes, people have asked me a lot on like live streams and stuff, like, oh, I'm thinking about opening an LGS. What are some of the things? And I'd be like, well, maybe everything I would say is before you sign the lease. And they'll be like, well, I already signed the lease and I'm opening in a couple weeks. I'm like, well, then I don't know what to tell you.
Little too late to ask.
Because I'm 6 months into it. It's been good so far, but again, I'm operating in the craziest, time for Pokemon ever. So I don't know what it's going to look like when things go down and there's a correction, and can I keep it open, all that stuff. So it's hard for me to feel like I can give advice. I feel like I've gotten lucky so far that the demand is so high and the market is so high and doing well. And the true test will be when the market goes down and the demand goes down, and whether or not I can continue to make it work. But
yeah. I got a question along those lines. Is there now that you're a few months into it, is there anything, because I know you were thinking about doing a store for a really long time, so I'm sure you've thought of most things, but is there anything that you wish you had thought of more before getting into it? Like, is there anything you wish you kind of knew beforehand?
Yeah, any surprises?
Surprises. It's tough because I sold basically at this location, just like one block down on the other side of the street, for like 2 years beforehand, just in like a consignment space in a comic book shop. So I already had a feeling of that people wanted a store, that there was demand for it, even in a down market, because that was like 2020, end of 2022, 2023, kind of in that down period, and then it got crazy again. So I think it's probably tough for most people to know whether or not the area that they're in actually wants a store and like you can justify the overhead. For me, it was finding like the littlest hole in the wall basement thing for $800 a month and just seeing if I can make that happen before. So for me, it was just like, what are the tiniest little steps I can take before getting into a 1,000 square foot, $3,000 a month, like attached to a grocery store on a strip mall type of scenario. I don't have a lot of surprises, just because I feel like I answered all those questions before I actually opened.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I thought I would be at more of a disadvantage since I didn't have any sealed when I opened. I mean, I have packs that Dan has been consigning through the store, so I had individual packs, but I didn't have any sealed products, and no boxes, no booster box, no ETBs, like nothing. And I focused solely on singles. And it turns out that I'm basically the opposite of what all the other stores in the area are. All the other stores in the area have overpriced sealed product and no singles, and I have an insane amount of singles and a lot less sealed products. So I kind of fit that niche that other stores weren't sort of accommodating. So yeah,
that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
And then Kino just asked a follow-up too, like if you could speak on the shift of vending machines by the Pokemon Company. I don't know that they're making any kind of a massive shift. I guess they're more prevalent, but I think that's just like we're booming, so they're just filling out different ways to distribute the product. But overall, like similar to Java, logistically, I was actually approached like a year ago. I had somebody hit me up about vending machines, and they pitched me on like buying some, going to local businesses in my area. And I did a little bit of the legwork on like what that would look like and it could make money, but it's just a matter of like, would it make more money than I could just doing what I'm doing now? Selling through the live streams, wholesaling out some packs. If I get too many of different sets, like not really worth the extra effort for me. I don't know. It is interesting though.
I don't know. It does sound like a really good opportunity. Obviously, like the vending machines themselves are really expensive, but then like your cost for putting the vending machine in a mall, I was kind of surprised with how relatively cheap that sounded. So once you actually you got to pay off the cost of these vending machines, but once you do that, your fees are really really low. So that part is kind of appealing. But at the same time, once we get out of this market and stuff is readily available in Targets, Walmarts, Best Buys, all the major stores, then I don't think it's going to be as profitable, and I don't think it's going to go as well. But for now, I think it's a really good idea until however long this lasts.
Yeah, I think in this, I could almost go the other way on it. Like maybe they'll do fine in one of those markets too. Like right now, everything's just stupid. You can make money doing anything. But in a down market, like if you put them in places where Pokemon isn't really, like think of in the checkout aisle, all the candy bars in the checkout aisle, all the sodas in the checkout aisle. Like one of these is like $3 or $2.50 or whatever it is in the checkout aisle. You could buy a 2-liter of the same soda somewhere else in the store for like the same or less money than buying the 20-ounce, right? If they're put in the right places, even when on eBay packs might be $3, you might be able to get $4.99 for a pack when packs are $3 if you have them in the right spots. If you get them in an airport, if you get them in like some mall where there's really no LGS presence, if you get, this is me theorizing, like I truly don't know, but I could almost see where you're able to move some product at a premium in a market where like prices, like so much of the history, I've been here 11 years, 10 of the 11 years that I've been here, the average pack price of sets a year and less older, a year and under, the average pack price is like $2.50 a pack. Like that's what they go for. A $90 box on eBay. That is what's 250? 250 times 36 is 90. Yeah, I was gonna say. So like the average pack price is like $2.50 for 10 of the 11 years that I've been here for new sets. If you could sell them for double in some reasonable scale, like that's pretty good business. But maybe that's not the case. Like maybe if they're $3 on eBay, $2.50 on eBay, maybe they don't move regardless of where you put them. And I guess that's what these people will find out.
That's basically what I did at my comic spot, was when you could buy, $70 booster boxes of, what was it, Twilight Masquerade or Temporal Forces or Obsidian Flames or whichever one of some of those boxes were that cheap at that time. Like I just buy boxes, and then most people are accustomed to going into Target and spending $5 a pack. So you get them for $2.53, you put them for, $4.50 even, you do a little bit of a discount, but you're still doing $2 a pack on a $2.50 pack. So it still ends up working out because people are accustomed to paying a certain amount for a Pokemon pack. They don't go in thinking I should be getting this pack for $3 usually.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like dollar binders. Like when I go to a Collecticon with my kids, I'm going and buying out of dollar binders cards that are shiny and flashy and cards that are like they just enjoy. It's like I know that I could get these elsewhere for 25 cents, for 30 cents, for 50 cents. I don't care. Same thing as this. I know that I could get this like cents per ounce of Coca-Cola. This is the worst way to buy this. But like convenience, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. I will pay 10 times the price for Coca-Cola that I should be a couple times a month or whatever it ends up being. So like if you're just picking up that demand from people at a local strip mall with no LGS, at an airport, at wherever makes sense, like it could work out. But a lot of these things are popping up in the boom. A lot of people are happy with the numbers they're making in the boom. Will people do it for that marginally like less? That'll remain to be seen. And Radar is tied in with is it TCN? TCN on Instagram, I think. Trading Card Network.
Yeah. Yes.
I think he's talked about, and people that have known John, and I've known and been friends with John for a long time. He's not Mr. Consistent like me with content. I think he's talked about making some more, and maybe he'll talk about more of this in the future. But definitely not holding my breath. Hopefully the videos come, but maybe someday we'll be graced by his presence again on YouTube, and he'll talk about it more. But yes, he is involved with that. Yes. I think we are. Oh, all this talk about soda house target goal coming along. I've been a very, very naughty boy. I played racquetball on Wednesday. Wednesday for the first time in a long time, like several years. I played racquetball at the local YMCA because my kids are in their second swim class. Their first swim classes, they both graduated. My son went from level 1 to level 3. That's how well he did. My daughter went from level 1 to level 2. So they used to be in the same class, same time. We went in, swim class, out. Now there's like a 45-minute gap between the two. So I am going to play racquetball for like an hour and a half once a week now. My wife is going to do whatever she does during her time. But so the activity level is going to be increasing, but I'm 235 currently. I've been very bad. I bottomed out at 225 and I'm 10 pounds back up, but I'm 20 pounds down from where I started. So I'm drifting into bad habits because I don't have a SMART goal set is where I'm at currently. Can anyone else picture Dan playing racquetball with goggles on? I don't wear like science goggles like the ones you picture from like chemistry class, but I wear glasses. I mean, I've taken a racquetball to the face and I would not want to take one to the eyeball. So I wear like safety glasses. They're like sunglasses, but they're clear, I guess. I don't think they're super fashionable, but people that play racquetball wear them so they don't go blind. Yes. So with all that, we have about 10 minutes left before Java has to go open his store. Anything else you guys want to talk about? One thing I guess I'll say, any more events for the year? I am going to New Jersey Collecticon. If anyone else in chat is going, if anyone watches this later, I'll probably be there Saturday only. MetaZoo Secret Shadows is also launching, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it can out survive Lorcana. We'll see what happens. But if you're at New Jersey, come say hi to me. Any more events for either of you to end off the year? Any locals? Any other shows you're doing? Or
I'm sure there'll be more local shows. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't signed up for anything, but vending, going to one of the two. Bigger shows, no. I'm done until next year.
I get to vend every weekend, so
yeah.
But yeah, no shows as of now for me either. So
what is, just so we can plug that here, if anyone is around the Wake Forest area, right?
Wake Forest, North Carolina.
Plug your store, the name, where to find it, as much as you want to share, hours that you're open.
Yeah, Wake Forest, North Carolina, in the historic downtown area. Let's see, Wednesday through Friday, gonna be 2 to 8, currently 3 to 9, gonna be shifting it back a little bit, and weekends 10 to 6. Java's Cards and Collectibles. Yeah,
there you go. Buying, selling, all the good stuff. Has packs on consignment from a known reliable source.
That means if you don't hit anything out of it, you can blame Dan. That's what I
tell you. Yes, exactly.
If you have bad luck, don't yell at Java. That's on me. But I've made a video. If you have bad luck, go watch my video about the math behind Moonbryon. Because just because the odds might be 1 in 1,000 does not mean if you open 1,000 packs, you will get it. Actually, 33% of people that open 1,000 packs don't get it. That's some RuneScape math right there. Thrifty always blames Dan. There we go. Thrifty's going to be in Jersey. So old school Pokemon Enterprises will be represented.
Yes.
Nice. She going to be sourcing for the streams?
Maybe a little bit. I think. Oh no, she is getting a half table. She is having a half table there. Nice. I was gonna say I think she's just going to hang out, but she will have a half table there.
How did you guys decide the name of your business? I'm really struggling picking a name.
Well, mine was really easy.
Julia's Cards and Collectibles. Boom.
There you
done.
go. Yeah.
No,
so
it is really tough. I remember when I've told this story.
Nick hates modern, so he went with old school because he used to only be WotC.
And now I only sell modern. Now I only sell
now
modern.
he's new school Pokemon.
But no, you really just come up with something like when I was creating an eBay account, I had to come up with an eBay name. I was selling older cards. I wanted to sound cool with the SKOOL, and I was selling Pokemon, so old school Pokemon. And so I did that, and I said, I'll think about it for a few weeks, and whenever I come up with something better, I'll change it. And here we are, however long later, and we still haven't changed it.
It's kind of like PokeFlipz too. We went for like a year and a half without any name. And then we were spitballing back and forth, and I came up with PokeFlipz, and it's like, it's not that good, but it kind of works, and we'll run it. And yeah, we're going to be PokeFlipz forever now. I used to go by Gotta Catch 'em All on E4, which how I came up with that, like Ash Ketchum, Gotta Catch 'em. Like I just, merged them together. And then a lot of people, some amount of people that I engaged with a lot on E4 just used to like, they distilled it down to just Ketchum. So I'm like, KetchumAllCollectibles. I don't know. That's just where I went with it. In hindsight, bad branding, bad name. Some people spell it wrong. It's too long to even fit as a username on many platforms. So like in hindsight, I would not make my name KetchumAllCollectibles, but I'm stuck with it now.
And then you were what you were Sign Steeds and something, weren't you? Before.
I've had multiple different names. I don't want to share all my old usernames because some of them had too much of my name involved in them and whatever. But my original name, of which I still have my my AOL account, that was just generated off like when I was in middle school. Like I have an AOL account that I still use today that mostly just gets all my spam. Like if I sign up for the McDonald's app, I use that email. If I sign up for like Wendy's or any of those things, I use that. But that username has like decades on it. It's crazy. My original email name in 2009 was grimy as hell. Formuoli wants to know, is there a good app? I think the built-in eBay thing is relatively fine. I don't really have many active searches that I engage with regularly anymore. Do you guys know the eBay like search notification to be bad? I didn't know it was bad. I guess
used it. I don't think.
I don't use it. Yeah.
I used to religiously every day. I'd go in and I'd have like 30 different searches that I was like different terms and whatever. Look, like I haven't used that in well over a year. So it sounds like eBay's built-in native one is bad. I'm not aware. We're fully caught up again. Oh no, here's one more that I had started. We thought the COVID boom was the craziest time in Pokemon ever. Now we feel like it's the craziest. Will we feel this way again later? That trumps this time. I actually have a video that I'm gonna respond to myself. One of the videos that I was like pretty off on. In 2023-ish, I made a video saying like there were a lot of people in 2023 asking about when the next boom was coming, waiting for like a 10x to come save them and turn all their money into more money. And I'm like, I don't think that's coming anytime soon. And then little do I know, 2 years later, it's like, whoa, way more than I would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
Though not as universal as like the pandemic, everything went up. Not everything is going up the same way now. A lot of things are, but not everything. COVID was really everything. But I said some things that were just wrong in that video. I said some things that were right, but I'm gonna react to that video at some point. Ponga says we haven't even seen the boom yet. Like as Java and I talked about, go like, subscribe to Java, all those good things. Go watch the video that him and I did a few weeks ago. We talked about the bull case, the bear case. Like we might have not seen the boom yet. We all could be early today. That could be the case. Do I think it is the case? Not really, but like it could be. Julia agrees with Ponga. What do you think, Nick?
I've been collecting a bit more recently. Kind of hedging on
store buys?
Yeah, kind of hedging on this idea that it could possibly be early. So I'm just grabbing stuff that I think not modern stuff. I'm not grabbing any modern, but like mid-era and back, like near mint, good fundamentals, good Pokemon, stuff that I like. And just if I get it at, the store percentage and I can make it work, then I just putting it in a binder for now and seeing what happens. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm buying stuff that I like at least.
Long-term inventory is much better from a tax perspective.
Yes.
I definitely, I wouldn't call it collecting, but like there are things that I sit on more of it. I sell it more slow. Scott SM Pratt says like, sell quickly what you can replace quickly, sell slowly what you can replace slowly or can't replace. Like there are certain things. If you pick any price point, if you pick $10, $100, $1,000, there are certain things that you can all day long go to eBay, go to TCG Player, go to a show. You will find those, buy it 90%, sell it 100%. You can all day long at like any given price point. There are cards, and then there are certain cards that it's like, man, this card is X amount of money, same as this other card. It takes me 2 months to check my eBay save search. It takes me 2 months to search Buyee, and I found one copy. Like over time, some of those things come to like end up panning out well, but some of them never really come around. Right now, in the current market that we're in, low pop, early stuff is doing really well. Go check out James on Instagram, sharing some of these like 5-figure sales. Nick, you remember, you were around for generations, like the Latias or Latios full art promo. Did you see that from the pin collection?
That was wild.
Like you could have bought 1,000 of those cards for $1 a piece back then. Wicked hard to grade. So maybe you would have had 10 contenders to grade out of your 1,000 cards. But like that card just sold for like $7,000 or $8,000 right now. And someone probably bought that copy for like $50 on eBay auction 8 years ago or something, or 6 years ago, whenever it was. Absolutely wild.
But I know Japanese is at like less of a multiplier for the most part, but I just sold a card the other day. It was super surprising to me, but it's the Mew Holo from Dreamshine collection. So it's like the Mew where it's kind of flying and it has a holo pattern across the front. I think in PSA 10 last year, it was probably like $90 to $110. I just sold them for $300. It's like,
yeah,
man,
even Japanese is like, doesn't.
Rest in peace to Julia. She needs that Latios. Good luck. Good luck. I don't even know what the card goes for a raw anymore, but yeah, in my mind, it's like that's a dollar card. I can picture the 5-row that I used to have 100 copies in, long since gone, sold through Troll and Toad Evo for probably $2 a copy or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy stuff. But yeah, with that, we're gonna be wrapping up here. Any final shout outs, any final questions that we didn't cover that you guys want to chat about? Thanks again, Java, for coming on. Thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Java.
Yeah.
It was good to talk to you again.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. Always
fun to have you on again. Like it we'll have to have you on again. Just you laid out earlier. Should have dove into it, explored it a little bit more, but you laid out earlier like you went full-time Pokemon, you got an LGS, well, not in that order. You got an LGS, you went full-time Pokemon, now you're getting an employee, and then you laid out like potentially getting another one, like seeing in a year how many you've added, where you're at, if you've potentially gone into a different space or anything. We'll have to follow up at some point down the line for sure.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
So go check out Java's Cards and Collectibles. Go check out Old School Pokemon on eBay Live. But more importantly than the second one is go check out KetchumAllCollectibles on eBay Live. Mr. Spat, go check out me and PK tomorrow on Fanatics Live as well. And with that, we will catch you all later. Thanks, everyone.
See you later.
Thank you.